my goodness. This has been a headache. I got to keep an eye on my download and upload speeds here, but I'm green, and it's staying green. What is going on? Laugh out loud. I don't know. I may cut out. I have no idea. So again, if it does, maybe we'll try and get back into it, or maybe we walk away and try and do this again another night. I don't know. I was on hold with Cox forever while I was trying to get this all figured out. Okay. Thank you guys for sticking around. I know it's been a little shaky tonight. If you guys would like, comment, share the content, all that great stuff. Lot to discuss. So much to discuss. We already went over the stats, but I will just for the people who are listening over on the Pig Trail podcast. Well, actually, no, we're not. That's right. We don't upload these. I feel like this is Friday. I don't know where I'm at. This stuff gives me a headache. This will not end up on the Pig Trail podcast. I'm so tired of losing. This is big Razorback. It's pretty disappointing. I know. All right, we're still green. Good. I have a little color, a little representation of how strong my signal is on the bottom right of OBS. When this thing starts turning colors, I'm going to get nervous. It's green, which means it's good. All right, Greg Horton. This just in. Chad Morris was fired. Okay, what? Okay, you can't do that. You can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. Greg Horton, don't tease us like that. I think he was teasing because my phone would be blowing up right now if that was the case. Actually, I did mute my phone. I don't think that was the case. Greg, let's update the Twitter here. Let's find out if there is anything. Like I was saying earlier, Chavis has got to go. If at the very least the only change they make that Hunter Yurachek says tomorrow morning or at the end of the year, let's say at the very, 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 very least, it's got to be that Chavis has got to go. I know everyone wants Chad Morris fired. I don't know if I don't even know where to begin with that because are they going to fire him? And my gut instinct says that they're not going to. So in that case, if that is the case, then you've got to walk away from Chavis. It is so embarrassing how bad they look on defense. Okay. So Douglas tweeted at me. Okay, I'll have to address that later. I'm not really sure. Posted a message in the PTN YouTube page saying internet issues you are working on, delaying things for live stream. Yeah, this is frustrating when you got so much you want to talk about and Cox isn't working. Now it seems to be working. We're good. Man, and I had all this energy and I used it all on Cox. I was so angry. I was sitting here swearing at Cox. I was using all that frustration that was built up over what we just witnessed tonight on Cox and not this. But the good news is KJ came in, led them. How many drives was that in the fourth quarter? Or plays, I mean. How many plays was that in that drive? 4 plays, 75 yards. If they march Ben Hicks out as the starter, or if they announce him as the starter this week, there might be people are already pissed, but there's going to be it's going to be 10 times the anger. Hicks, no more Hicks. I know that people believe that you're still playing to win, but we've seen Hicks time and time again disappoint outside of coming in a second half and having a decent second half against A&M. I get that. Some believe that his knowledge and understanding of the offense is why you should still trot him out there, or Starkel because they're older. But let's be real, they don't give you the best chance to win games. They just don't. And that's stating the obvious to a lot of you, as I said on the Hog Talk podcast halftime show. It's stating the obvious to like 90% of you. There's just still several people out there who just refuse to acknowledge and see what's really happening on the field, and that's that Hicks and Starkel are not. Why is it that John Steven and Hicks John Steven and KJ Jefferson are able to light a bigger fire when they come out into the out to play and start on the offense, and whatever they do, they seem to come in and they're able to ignite something in the offense, and that has kind of been the case throughout the second half most of the season. But you need an RPO quarterback to run this offense, and that is not what Starkel and Hicks are. Hicks can run. John Steven made a nice little throw when he bounced out of the pocket. I had his numbers up. He didn't have a terrible game. I was legit surprised. I was legit surprised that they put KJ out there. I was. Now, what I said coming into the game was that we wouldn't see KJ because it would be close. It wasn't. I should have stuck with I shouldn't have picked Arkansas to cover the spread. I've done that. It's like the one time, I'm not doing that ever again. KJ or nothing from here on out. KJ or John Steven. I would definitely argue that it's nice that you see KJ come out onto the field and provide that spark, and he's able to get them down the field and score and do wonderful things. There are things that we have to understand, though. At that point, let's be real, Mississippi State defense, I think it was half and half starters. Now, there's some conflicting reports out on that. I'm not sure. They were over. They know this game was out of hand. You bring in a quarterback, they have no film on. They don't know what to expect other than the fact they know he can run the RPO. And I'm trying to pump the brakes a little bit. Don't set the bar super high for KJ Jefferson. Odds are you're not going to get that every single time he comes out onto the field. I'm not opposed to playing him, or maybe even, I don't know, I kind of feel like you start with John Steven maybe, and then you go to KJ. We need to realize that Mississippi State was done at that point in the game. They trot out some guy they have no film on. There's no, when they're running through scout drill and they're running through preparation for Arkansas, they have nothing with KJ involved when they're preparing on through their week, installing their Arkansas package. That plays into the advantage of KJ. And not only that, KJ is a beast. I've been saying that here for months. KJ is a monster. KJ is going to be really good. I hope he's patient. If they do walk away from Chad Morris, I think Hicks would fit in nicely with just about anything. He's still raw as far as a passing quarterback. He's still got some mechanic things to work on. But I hope he sticks it out here because the guy is special, especially in this offense in the RPO. I feel like what you're going to end up getting is John Steven starting, which I'm not opposed to because we've gotten more out of John Steven than we have, compared to Hicks, But KJ's still a little raw in the passing game. John Steven is too. There's a reason why these guys haven't seen the field as much early on. So I'm just not on board with people who are like, why didn't you do this from the beginning? Well, okay, then why did Starkel win the starting or win the backup job over these two? It's clearly something that the staff, something that they didn't like or that they really liked about Starkel over those two. But it is obvious when you trot them out onto the field, they appear to be the best option for this offense. I'm not opposed to that. I want to be clear with that. I don't want you guys to confuse that with me not being on board with playing these guys. I am absolutely on board with it. I'm not ready to throw coaches under the bus simply because they didn't play freshmen. I'm just not there yet. I may fly off the handle a little bit when you lose embarrassingly to teams that you shouldn't be losing to like they did. I'll definitely speak truth to that. But I'm also going to tell you that I get why they haven't thrown these two into the fire just yet. But we knew they were going to play them. We knew that they were going to play them eventually. I don't have a problem with them starting Hicks. I have a problem with them keeping him in for as long as they did. And I'll say this: at least they benched him. At least they benched him before half. They didn't wait till the second half to come in and make a change. I'll give them that. I realize that it looks good right now. KJ looks special. You have an opportunity to march him out against Western Kentucky. If you want to play him, that's a great time to play him anyways. I don't know much about Western Kentucky. I'm going to do a breakdown on these guys starting tomorrow, possibly Monday. And then later on in the week, we'll really start to install, myself and the Hog Talk podcast will start to install kind of our what we know and what we think should happen. But this is definitely a week that KJ could look really good because, I mean, it's a non-Power 5 school, although Ty Story's probably going to come in here. Yeah, I've not moved on that at all. They're going to come in here and beat Arkansas. They're going to finish 2-10. Everything that we've seen the last several weeks has only reinforced the crowd that I guess you could say I kind of align myself with the most, which is that Chad Morris and the writing is on the wall and all that. That's only been reinforced the last few weeks. You could take Alabama and Auburn out of the picture. You look at San Jose State, you look at Kentucky, you look at this game. There's nothing here for the pro Chad Morris crowd who want to give him more time. What the hell are you saying that we're not? That's what I want to know. KJ will transfer. Well, he might. If you lose, look, if you bring in let's say you bring in an air raid. Let's say you bring Leach in. You run more of an air raid offense. That doesn't fit KJ's style. He's an RPO guy. Yeah, he could transfer. And if that's the case, then you have to ask yourself, really, you've got to just admit to yourself that that's the right move for him. He wouldn't fit, I don't think, in an air raid offense. He might be able to adapt to it eventually. He's definitely an RPO guy. And I know that's not what people want to hear. They want to hear that KJ's this great 5-star, what a prospect, but he's raw in the passing game. He's got a lot of work with arm mechanics. He's got a lot of things he's got to work with footwork. But I'll tell you what I did like too. He went through his progressions. If you go back to that last incomplete pass, he went through his progressions. He went 1, 2, and then went back over to his 3, and then tried to throw to a check down. It was good to see that from a true freshman. But he overthrew his target. I want to see him, no matter what they do. If Chad Moore sticks it out, and if they do bring in, let's say, an air raid, I'd love to see him stick it out and see what he could evolve into. He is a special player, especially in the RPO, because that's what he is. He's an RPO guy. KJ is great, but the head coach is awful, says Glenn Owens. Absolutely. I wish Chad would lay down. Okay, let's not go that far, fish man. I'm not all for the physical harm and name calling. I'm just not there. Like, come on. At the end of the day, it's football. Yeah, he sucks. Okay, he sucks as a head football coach at Arkansas. All these other top 10 teams are playing freshmen, though. What's wrong with us doing it? Well, Ben, it's when you go back and look at who's on your sidelines and who really gives you the best opportunity to win. Is it necessarily Hicks and KJ? I don't know. It sure does look good when they come in late, as Starkel has done once before, as Ben Hicks has done before. It's nice when they come in late and they look good when you're already getting blown out and defenses are typically not in it. When they're rotating in and out starters and backups and true freshmen, yeah, okay, you look good when you play against when you're playing against a defense that knows you're out of it. When they know that you're out of it and this is over with, you're not getting the same effort like you do in the first quarter. Look what they did in the first quarter. Mississippi State dismantled Arkansas's offense. They're in the backfield, causing havoc, getting pressure on the quarterbacks, doing what an SEC defense should do. It's nice to see that every once in a while. It's just good to see any kind of football played by anybody on an Arkansas Razorback field, as bad as Arkansas has been this year. But it's easy to say these guys are great. Again, I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't play them. But I can understand why they haven't, is I guess what is the point that I'm trying to make. That's true, Ty. Another 2-10 season. Yeah, that's what it is. So it takes a pick to change quarterbacks. How many points down before you make a change? I don't know. They definitely should have made an earlier change. You cannot wait till you're out when Hicks looks as bad. Well, what was his first 10? Or 10, wasn't he like 2 of his first 10 or 3 of his first 10? And you add the turnover. He's not moving the offense down the field. It's just like Portland State all over again. And then he let this thing get completely out of hand. I don't know. Arkansas needs to hire Ty, do way better than Chad. Hire Alex Jones. Let the coaching search begin. I feel like it already has. You're right. I think Story will carve us up like Thanksgiving turkey, says Castle Lord. That first run with KJ could see the talent. He is a difference maker. He's going to be special. In this offense, KJ is going to be a monster. He's got to be patient. He's got to stay healthy. Hey, you're back. Yeah, finally. The internet, and it's holding up. I'm surprised. It hasn't held up all night. Let's see. Chad could be a hell of an offensive coordinator at Arkansas, but not a head coach. Could not agree more, puppeteer. Now you can go hire SMU's head coach. I won a $50 bet saying the Hogs would get blown out. Sadly, I won $50, says Frederick Clemens. This offseason is going to be a travesty. It could be. It really could. You know that KJ is here, and they were right when they were talking about this on the SEC Network. KJ is here because of Chad Morris. Yeah, the facilities, the fans, all that. But he's here because of what Chad Morris did with Watson at Clemson. Because of what he did. No, make no mistake about it. Your odds go up quite a bit of him transferring if you walk away from Chad Morris. You have to ask yourself if you're okay with that. Do you have faith that with Chad Morris's, I can't believe I'm saying this, but with Chad Morris's under his guidance, under his ability to develop quarterbacks as a QB coach / OC, can he do that as a head coach with KJ, and will they eventually turn the corner? Or do you risk losing them both and firing Chad and hoping that maybe you turn the corner with the next guy? That's what you're asking yourselves. That's a loaded question because KJ's special, but I don't know that you can win because of Chad Morris with KJ. It doesn't matter if you had 23-year-old Michael Vick out there on that field, before all the dogfighting and everything. I don't know that you win when you don't have a competent head coach and a guy that can't steer this team in the right direction. I don't think it matters who's at quarterback. As an OC, oh my God, we'd be on cloud nine. But yeah, if you fire Chad, the odds of him transferring out, depending upon who you hire, go up quite a bit. He's here because of Chad. So do you think the head coach will be here next season? Do you think defense coach be gone? I think Western Kentucky, because I'm picking right now Western Kentucky, and probably a lot of fans are here too for that. No matter who you start at quarterback, I think you lose to Western Kentucky. There could be change tomorrow morning. I have no idea. With what we saw tonight, that was beyond embarrassing for Hunter Yurachek, for the Board of Trustees, for the Chancellor, for everybody involved inside that athletic department. They could make a change tomorrow. You lose to Western Kentucky, I don't know how you keep him. I really don't. I don't know how you defend what you've seen so far this year, and then you add in the Western Kentucky loss. I have no idea. I just don't think that Chad comes back. I just don't. Bit of a stretch, but why not take a look at Utah's head coach? There's a lot of names out there right now. A lot of people are talking about. There's a lot out there as far as possible prospects, as head coaching prospects. You seem a little beat down, Ty. I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm exhausted dealing with the internet, and then it's just been a really tiring day, Kelly Marie, but thank you. Thank you for noticing. Stop it. If Chad Moore stays, what are the odds that he screws up the starting quarterback preparation again next season? Extremely high. This guy, I mean, how many quarterback changes has he made? What are they on? Like 9 different quarterbacks? They have no idea. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know that you want KJ playing because of how screwed up they have. The future of the quarterback position is such a giant question mark. And you still got Chandler Morris, his son, who's going to sign. What do you do? You're going to have Starkel next year, and Starkel he's a gunslinger, but he's like the worst kind of gunslinger. He's like the gunslinger who never hits his target and gets shot in between the eyes and somehow still gets up and has a job and finds his way onto the shooting range. I don't know. I can't figure out for the life of me. I don't know. Look, this is what's so challenging is you just don't know what the right answer is, what they're going to do. The staff they're predictable with sticking with Hicks, but then through the game, they're kind of unpredictable. Like I said, I'm surprised we saw KJ. I'm not surprised that we saw John Steven. I'm surprised we saw KJ. But then when you look at how bad the score was and everything, let's see, Hicks didn't care, and it was crystal freaking clear, says Kelly Marie. Hate to say it, but Morris looking like a con artist knew it was a bad hire from the start. Bad vibes, says Razorback fans. 2794. It looks like Ty might have been crying because they won't fire the coaching staff. No, I haven't been crying. Just really tired. Joe McGowan, how are you doing, Joe? Have you been crying? I wonder if you've been crying because I haven't been. If you need a shoulder, man, I'm here. Let's see. That looked like 1995 Nebraska to me out there. Did you see Nebraska lost to a 2-win Purdue team? Wow. Boy, so much for that turnaround over there. I bet they're pissed. Let Starkle go for sure, says Mr. Bloodline. Starkle is the guy who goes into battle, accidentally shoots more of his own guy. What do they call that when you're on video games, when you're playing like Call of Duty? Team killing. Yeah, he's team killing. Starkle team kills. That's what he does. That's a good one. Let's see. Thanks for taking the time to give your input. And I live in the ADK in New York. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. I'm sorry it's been... I'm told I'm too negative. People don't want to listen because we're negative. And I'm over here like, what the hell do we have to be positive about? That's what I'm wondering. Nick Starkle is the college version of Jay Cutler. Huge arm. That's a very good point. Jay Cutler, who was phenomenal at Vanderbilt, then he goes to the pros and he throws like 6 picks a game and just doesn't get benched. I never understood that. My granddaughter could coach better, says Bruce Hunt. I don't have a clue who the right fit is at Arkansas, but I'm beyond sure that it's not Chad Morris, says Dwight. Dwight dropping some knowledge there. This is a total rebuild job, says George Brown. I don't know what you're referring to. If you're saying that Chad Morris leaves and whoever comes in next, it's going to be a rebuild, I don't know. Sorry, Ty, I didn't mean to pile it on. No, you're fine. You're fine, Kelly Murray. Let's see. KJ may be the only man on this planet that could save Chad's job. I'm at the point where it's like maybe they should just play KJ, just start him. I'm at that point. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it, but I'm at that. I'm knocking on the door of just screw it. Let him play so nobody's predicting another top 15 recruiting class. No. Do expect some D commitments. I've already had a text. Not going to say who it was about, but yeah, there's... we'll see. Sometimes you get nonsense. We'll see. But I think it's kind of obvious at this point that right now things are so bad. Some kids just don't want to be a part of a total rebuild that might take forever. Let's see. I love your show, Ty. We have to be negative, telling the truth about what's going on. Yeah. Frederick Clemens, just joking. Oh, the new Ryan Leaf. No, that's probably pretty spot on. Let's see. How is Yurchek not itching to fire Morris at this point? That's a really good question. I don't know how you sit. I don't know how you sit aside and you've got Jerry Jones in the building, right? You got the Joneses. You've got all these. I don't know how many people actually, the rich people, the rich donors and people who actually showed up to the game. It is homecoming after all. But I don't know how you sit aside and you're just like, yeah, no, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm all right with this. I'm all right. This is fine. The fire's, it's just the house is collapsing around you, but you're sipping on your tea and you're like, this is fine. I don't know how you do it. I couldn't be an AD. I really couldn't. And that's why I'm not an athletic director. They've got to come at this as a CEO, right? They're the CEOs. What's up, Ty? Hope you're doing well. What's up, Joshua Long? How you doing, man? Connor says maybe next year is quickly turning into maybe next decade. KJ is the only chance in hell we have at beating Western Kentucky. Guys, in 50 years, I can't remember a time worse than this, says Bruce. Hire Mike Norvell, and then John Stephen Jones just got a standing ovation. Oh, did he? Did he get a stand? When? Was he on the talking to the media? I don't know. But KJ was impressive, and I agree with you guys. KJ might be their only chance at turning this thing around, at least being respectable. I don't know. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I see why they've pumped the brakes on putting freshmen into what's going on, especially with how bad they are in the offensive line, with how inconsistent this offense is. And a lot of people have said, I've heard people mention this on the radio, they're worried about their confidence, and I don't know. I'm so back and forth on this, but at this point, you've got 3 games left. I don't have a problem with trotting a freshman out there. I really don't. I don't. Hopefully Hudson Henry doesn't transfer. He's the first Henry to leave the Razorback program. I don't know that he would necessarily. Hudson's the type of guy, first off, he's a legacy player. Obviously, I don't think I would put him high on that chopping block as far as the guys that transfer, but anything is possible. We might be the worst Power 5 team in the country, and we honestly have decent talent at certain positions, which speaks volumes to coaching. Treylon Burks, and I'm going to repeat this. Co-host Jacob Davis from the Hog Talk podcast said this a little while back, that Burks is the most talented athlete on this roster, on any Arkansas roster, since Darren McFadden. That's not saying he's the greatest wide receiver, but just as an athlete, he is a phenomenal athlete. You watch that kick return today. We've seen him on punt returns. We've watched him off bad throws from quarterbacks that get picked off. You see, here comes Burks from the other side of the field, chases the defensive back down and tries to make the play. Burks is special. Burks is another one of those guys. They better not lose. They better not. The next staff better make sure Knox and Burks stick it out along with KJ. Chad was asked in the press conference if he was willing to make staff changes. Said we wouldn't answer until tomorrow. Someone is gone. Yeah, I think they're going to address the Cheyenne O'Grady stuff. Cheyenne O'Grady, rumors all around that. Supposedly he's quit. But we've heard that before, but I think there might be some truth to it this time. Is Hunter Yurachek going to go down with the ship like JL did? Well, this isn't his. Like, he didn't start this. Again, this isn't his hire. This was an interim AD's hire, not Hunter's. I don't think that, we saw what he did with Mike Anderson. I mean, he fired a coach that had an impressive record and was pretty public with not liking, the losing environment. I mean, he's pretty public about that. I don't think he has any intentions at all of going down with any ship. I think he wants to right the ship. I don't know how good of an AD he is. I thought Jeff Long was a terrific money raiser, marketing guy. I thought he was terrific. Other than the forward-facing Hawk, that was a travesty. But what got him fired was his hires. They just didn't work out. They were bad, and supposedly he wasn't willing to let go of Brett Bielema. And it made him out to look like a clown. Now we see him at KU. He kind of looks like a clown, although KU football is trending in a much better direction than Arkansas is. Chad says he's been here before. Oh, I think okay. Well, his first year at SMU was rough, but and yeah, he was here last year. If that's what he said in his press conference. Yeah, just a year ago he was here. So who's gonna kick me today for congrating Ty Story on his first SEC win? He's going to have more wins. He's going to have more SEC wins than Chad Morris. Oh, wow. Pew, pew, pew. That's terrible. I don't know. At this point, I try to keep it positive to some degree. Basketball, right? Yeah. Women's basketball. They're ranked. The women's soccer team, they just won the SEC. Yeah, all right, there's some positivity. And then it's like football. It's just not. We ran off nut after coming home from a huge number one LSU, so I see what you're saying about beating LSU because he won 8 games. What the hell? Yeah, I don't like it when people compare times. I mean, Houston and I had 10 years. And the Springdale 5, all that stuff, the way it was handled wasn't the best, okay? Let's be honest. Wasn't the best. It left a real – fans were already calling for him to be fired before they ever hired Gus Malzahn, right? I mean, he obviously hired Gus to bring in the Springdale 5 and then wouldn't work with them and kind of sold them on some lies. You had parents raising a big fuss. And, again, fans at the time, it's real nice and convenient now to go, oh, see, we ran off Houston Nutt, but – let's go back in time. Yeah, obviously now we would take him in a heartbeat. Hell, we'd take Brett Bielema right now in a heartbeat over what we're seeing. But that's the dice that you roll. In Houston Nutt, you went from Houston Nutt to Bobby Petrino, and then that blew up in your face, although it looked like it was trending in the right direction. I mean, you can't erase what you did, and you have to understand why you did the things at the time when you did them. 10 years is more than enough time, and he had a couple of blemishes on his race. He had several blemishes, had some confusing losses in some bowl games. He had no, so they had every right to walk away from Houston Nutt after a decade. I don't know. Baseball, says Master Butter. Yeah, baseball is going to be terrific. I can't wait. So I think we're at 30 minutes. Only 30 minutes. Feels like it's been a little bit longer. Yeah, at least Bert was 50-50. We'll be a basketball school in 2 or 3 years. Why so, Graham Hog fans? Aren't we officially a baseball school now? Well, I mean, that's what you are. That's not what fans, I think, want to be. Hire Paul Petrino. Oh, dear Lord. I hope you were kidding, Razorback fan. Let's see. We might be a soccer school this year, too. It might be. And that's okay. Might be a soccer school, women's basketball, baseball team this year, and that's all right. At least you've got something to be positive about. Even some of you may not like those other sports. That's fine. Arkansas has a beautiful renovated venue and no product on the field. Can our baseball team just play a few games at Donald Reynolds? Yeah, so we can make use of it. Yeah, right. So you can at least get a better product on the field. Yeah, but we Hog fans don't count SEC games anymore. New coordinators, please. Tired of our opposing team scoring like it's a basketball halftime score. Ready for basketball. Go Hogs, says Mike Lane. What's up, Mike? Oh yeah, let me. That reminds me. I'm gonna give you guys. I know some more of you were asking about Discord. Let me pull that up. I'm gonna get you guys Discord. Those of you who want to join. It's still fun. Basketball season is gonna be a hoot. Baseball, go Dave Van Horn, says Kelly Murray. Absolutely. Baseball is going to be exciting. I hope. There's also that feeling of Hog's gonna hog, where you've got all this hype around a sport and then you fall flat on your face. But Dave Van Horn's too good of a coach, I think. Derek Billingsley. What's up, Derek? Long time no see. Heard a rumor about the Minnesota coach. I don't know how much about it. I don't know much about him. Yeah, I don't either. You're talking about, oh my God. Someone help me out in chat. Bo Mattingly did a show someone help me out. Oh my gosh. Why am I brain farting on his name? So I'm waiting on chat. Someone help me out. Why am I brain farting on that coach's name? Minnesota. Someone's going to pop up any second with it. Well, okay, we're just gonna. You guys are okay. I'm gonna Google it real quick. I'm brain farted entirely. Minnesota. It's too late. Those of you who are like, yeah, I'm right there. It is, Tyler. I'm Googling it right now. Minnesota. What are they? The Gophers, Minnesota Gophers coach. I'm brain farting on this guy. PJ Fleck. Holy crap. Yeah. Bo Mattingly did a PJ Fleck documentary. It was really cool. Yeah, I've heard that name quite a bit. PJ Fleck is someone that absolutely I would be all for if that's what you're going to do, if you're going to walk away from Chad Morris. Does anyone not want to watch Morris post-press conference but going to hate watching it anyways? You can watch those later. Chief Keen, I swear, this is like the second time. You're always up in here talking about the press. We will watch it when we're damn well ready to watch it, okay? Whoever stayed in the second half of the game today, bless y'all's hearts. I had to leave after the pick six. Yeah, Grant. Jacob did too. Jacob, again, the co-host from the Hog Talk, he left at like the beginning of the fourth quarter, I think. And I texted him. I was like, bro, you just missed the KJ Jefferson. The train has arrived. Hop on now. At this point, are we shaving points? Funny you say that. Someone had actually said that on Twitter a little while back. Maybe Chad's doing this on purpose just to get fired, and then he gets his buyout and he gets to walk away. Somebody paying Chad. Just watch the post-game presser with Chad Morris. Same old, same old. the media did dig him, though. Okay, I can't wait to go watch that. I'll watch some of it, hopefully tomorrow. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So we'll just put a stamp on this. We're gonna cut it off here in just a second. Again, we had a lot of people. You guys rock. Thank you so much. Remember to like, comment, share, and all that cool stuff. I'll keep reading chat. We're not done just yet. I'll keep reading chat, but yeah, we don't forget Hog Talk Podcast. We're gonna record tomorrow. We'll have that episode up on Monday. We're gonna talk a lot about Chad and KJ and what we saw. Myself and Jacob. I'm not sure if we'll have Porter on or not. He might be there with us, our producer. I'm going to go to some more Lady Back games. I'm excited about that. We have our credentials for the press passes for all of you who didn't know that. Isn't that cool? We've been busting our butts for that. And we want to include more of the women's sports, so we'll have that. We'll include just a little bit of everything on the Hawk Talk. And obviously we'll talk about KJ and what we saw. Again, did see freshmen today. Hudson Henry, Amante Spivey, KJ, and there were a couple of freshmen on defense too, by the way. Let's recruit some Minecraft players. Let's see. Mike Leach won't win them all, but it's a great watch. We scored more than last week, so we're getting there, says Connor Gatos. Yeah, that's the craziest thing about all of this is how bad Mississippi State is, and they walk in here and they look like Alabama. I mean, that's, you talk about writing on the wall. How much more writing do you need? I mean, that wall's covered. It's completely covered. And you still have people. You need another year. Fire the coordinators. He'll be fine. I don't know. I think maybe you fire Chad, and maybe you bring in someone like an Urban Meyer. That would be great if you wanted to throw a bag of money at him, and then maybe in this utopia of getting better in my Arkansas utopia, then you bring Chad in as an OC with Urban Meyer. Supposedly Urban did try to hire him, by the way, when he was at Ohio State. That's the only outcome I would be okay with Chad as an OC. I think he'd be a terrific offensive coordinator. Watch him get fired from here, and then he goes on somewhere else and he takes that team to the promised land. That would be Arkansas's luck. Kind of like what's going on with Ty Story. He goes to Western Kentucky and he's balling. Hashtag uncommon, says Lance Merritt. Yeah. Go Lady Razorbacks, says Mike Lane. Yeah, really excited about that. They're going to be pretty good this year. Poor War Machine. How many weeks in a row have they lost now? What is this, 5, 6? God, I don't know. Too many. War Machine's just, it's a good thing he doesn't get, it's a good thing that's not his career, right? He wouldn't be making a whole lot of money. You have one guy to stop. Well, my chat keeps rolling up here. I wanted to read that. Let's see. Omaha says you have one guy to stop. Good grief. Let's see. Load the box and make him throw it. Needs coaching for dummies. War Machine just uploaded KJ Drive. That's the shortest video ever. Chad Morris blackmailed by the deep state. Russia. It's all Russia's fault. I know Hill's a good running back, but we made him look like the second coming of Barry Sanders. He did look good, and he is a good running back. Make no mistake about that. He stands out on film, man. He does. He's problematic for everybody, but he's not that good. He's not that kind of yardage good, and he absolutely ripped them a new one. Turning frogs. Oh my gosh! Now we're getting into the InfoWars side of things. War Machine has left the chat. Oh, I didn't know he was in here. He's like, screw you, Ty. I'm going to go make another video. War Machine's a good guy. The Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky upset the Hogs 35-31. Ty living the dream. He is absolutely living the dream. I know. Let's see. Chad Morris. Where'd it go? Hang on. Let me scroll up. Chad Morris really reminds me of Derek Dooley of Tennessee. Good guy, but a sorry, bad word coach. Could be the case. I don't think Arkansas will ever be competitive again unless we leave the SEC. Oh, see, that's opening up a whole jar of worms. I don't even know where to begin with that. I'm not going to go there. I think they can. I think the right guy can turn any program around. The problem is how deep is this grave that they're digging? Chad Morris is digging his own grave, and he's taking Arkansas down with him. You know, when you've got your best talent transferring out, we already saw that with Devin Bush. When you've got these, Tykees Crawford, and you've got these big time, Martavius French. Although there's a little bit of baggage there, and you kind of had a feeling about him, anyways, about him decommitting. But when you have your best recruits decommitting, your best players entering the transfer portal, I don't know. Like it's just another rebuilding job, and that's where a lot of the Chad Morris keep him around for another year crowd. That's their main point, and it's not a bad point to make. You are going to have to bring someone else in, and they're going to have to completely rebuild what's going on here. They're going to have to change the culture inside out, the football program, and everything that's going on here. It's just. It's the worst, I think you can argue, the worst that it's ever been, at least in the modern age of college football. It's the worst it's ever been, and it's been terrible. It's the worst this year, but it's just been a decline further and further down. And so, like I said, Chad Morris is digging his own grave, and he's taking Arkansas down with him. And I don't know who the right guy for the job is to come in and fix this. I don't. Leaving the SEC would be retarded. Sorry. It would be because of the money. Absolutely. The money they make from just being in this league is incredible. Ty, do you think we could beat Western Kentucky? Right now, Tyler, I do not. No. We have zero spark. Yeah, I mean, you guys have heard me say this week in and week out. They're unprepared. My God, the defense. Fire Chavis for sure. 100% does not need to come back. Chavis has been terrible. He has been atrocious. He's been so bad. And it doesn't help that the very position that he's responsible for recruiting, he's not done it. He's not been able to bring in the higher tier, 4-star linebacker. Now that's been a challenge at Arkansas. That's not all on him. But you've had these guys decommit. You look at what happened at the end of last year, losing out on those 2 linebackers. And then this year, you hope, you're going to stock up on some linebackers, but what's their caliber of talent? Really? Yeah, they might have 3 stars next to their name versus 4, and that may not be that bad. But overall, what's their talent level when they really get here? Are they going to be guys that maybe by year 4 that they're worthy of SEC, of being on the field, of playing at that level? Or are these guys that are under the radar? That could be the case. I mean, he is a supposedly a really good evaluator of talent, especially at the linebacker position. But so, the things that he's supposed to have, his strengths, right? Like his ability to rush the quarterback. Yet again, 2 years in a row, they're going to finish the bottom of the SEC in pass rush. Not just sacks, but overall, quarterback hurries, tackles for loss, making plays in the backfield. They already don't pass the eye test, but then you combine that with the actual facts, the numbers, the statistics, the studies, the analytics, and they don't match up. They both look the same, whether it's on paper, on film, or whatever. He's not doing the things that we thought we were getting out of him. I always knew it would probably be bend, don't break kind of defense, like what they had under Petrino. I always knew that. It's hard to, it's really hard to have a steady, consistent top 5 defense at Arkansas. It just is. Even in this day and age, well, especially in this day and age of college football where everything has shifted so offensive, it's an offensive-friendly game. It's so hard to have a solid defense. And the last time they had a decent defense was 2014, and then you saw what they did the next year and the next year after that. It's hard to put this all at the feet of Chavis. Because it's not like he walked in with a ton of talent. It's the same with Chad Morris on offense. I get it. But they've made no steps. There have been no signs of improvement on defense. Again, they're not good at getting to the quarterback. Quarterbacks have all the time in the world to go through their progressions, to read through their progressions. If they got to throw to a check down with it, guess what? He's going to be out in the flats, and he's going to turn it upfield for 10 or 15 yards. They have zero outside containment. They can't, when they do rush the quarterback, they miss him. They miss the play in the backfield. They miss tackles in the backfield. It's just one thing after another. They get gashed for 8, 10, 20. And here lately it's been, this year, especially in the first quarter, it's been like the first drive. There goes the running back down the field, 60 yards for a score. Or like today's case, how far did he go? Like 70 yards, 65 yards? Didn't score. But it's every week they're out of position, they're unprepared. There was no game plan put in place for the defense. Offense has a consistency problem, and it starts with the offensive line and it ends with the quarterback play. When you combine those two things, you've got nothing. You've got mass inconsistency, and you got wideouts running down the field confused. The only hope they had on offense was Cheyenne O'Grady and Rakeem Boyd. Burks, it's hard to get the receivers the balls when the quarterback doesn't have time to make the throw, and when he does, he turns it over when you're Nick Starkel. Or if you're Ben Hicks, you're too afraid to stretch the field out. Again, there's so much wrong with this team. And you expect, again, we're not saying you need to beat Auburn, you need to beat Alabama, you need to beat LSU. We're saying be competitive. Don't lose at home to teams like Mississippi State that are that bad. And I don't know, don't lose to Colorado State on the road. Don't lose to North Texas. Don't lose to San Jose State. But that's asking too much. That's asking entirely too much of this staff. And they've made there's no signs of progression. Now, John Stephen comes in, and we see the offense maybe, again, I've switched. The RPO is the only way to go with the quarterback. I know. We have seen a pocket passing quarterback work in this offense, but the way it is here, and with it being in the SEC and everything, you've got to have that guy that can do things with his feet. It's nice to have a quarterback who could stretch the field. And I don't know that that's what John Stephen Jones is, and I don't know that that's what KJ is, but you have guys that can at least run the RPO and operate it correctly. You've just got to install more of the offense. Preparation, evaluating, and installation of your game package, and everything that starts at the beginning of the week doesn't seem to be happening. It's like they're nowhere to be found in the film room. It's what it looks like anyways. I mean, I know that's probably not the case. Defense out of position, not coached. Players don't look like they're buying in. I don't know how many times I saw today Fouché, who's supposed to come in and clean up a tackle, he would just like kind of gently push the player down. Whoever had the ball would just gently push him down and kind of look at him. Would make no aggressive play towards the ball. And I saw that, not just Fouché, there were a couple of other players. Now you've got guys like Sosa, Gaiman, Scuda, and Bumper Pool who play till the whistle blows. But then you've got other guys, especially in the secondary, that they're done. If it looks like a guy's down, you'll see them start to kind of walk towards the huddle or walk back, towards the sidelines or whatever it is that they're supposed to do. I don't know. I could go on. I could freaking go on for forever, but this is a reflection of the head coach. This is a reflection of the staff. And I don't know that it gets any better. I don't know what to say. KJ looked amazing. KJ comes in. And again, Mississippi State doesn't know what they're in for when KJ steps on the field. There's no film on this guy in the offense. And KJ did exactly what KJ should do and what he's capable of doing. He ripped them up. I mean, KJ flat out balled on Mississippi State. We'll see if he can keep that up. We'll see if he at least provides them some level of consistency, assuming they give him more of a chance. My opinion, and again, I'm decompressing all this at the same time you guys are, and I'll probably change my mind by Monday. My opinion is I don't want to see Hicks or Starkel the rest of the year. You're no longer fighting for a bowl game. It's over. I think we all knew that anyways, but coming into this game. But I don't want to see them anymore. You can't see me, but I'm doing this very serious hand gesture here towards my desk. You can't see it, but trust me, I'm doing it. I don't want to see them anymore. I want to see John Stephen Jones. I want to see the future. I want to see John Stephen and KJ. One or the other. Or both. Whatever. If you've got a package installed, that's what I want to see. No more Starkel and Hicks. They have, if you want my opinion, they've not done anything that like we thought they would. They've not. They've not lived up to anything. The Hicks was supposed to know the offense. He's worked with Chad Morris. He knows the offense, but he's not provided them with anything of any level of consistency on the field. Starkel turns the ball over 15 times a week. You don't see it because when he's off the field, he tries to throw his clothes in the laundry, gets intercepted. Tries to throw his dog a bone, it gets intercepted by another dog. KJ, we're done with those two. Let's look at the future and let's let John Stephen Jones and KJ finish the year out. Spivey got to play. I liked what I saw of Spivey, although that fumble, the fumble, but other than that, he looked all right. Fouché got run over more than once, I believe. Let's look at logic here. He has a a senior who has been in the system for 4 years, better competition, weed out coaching and players. I don't want to see Hicks ever again. Mr. T-Dub says, had Spivey not fumbled, KJ would have scored again. It's possible. Kyle D says, I like how KJ did and Jones. They are better than the other two. Roger must be behind because he just wrote PJ. I'm tired. I'm sorry. PJ Fleck. Let's see. Jones looked all right as well. More poise than either upperclassman. Steve Stone, I agree with you. Get them out. Hicks had a hard time throwing a 40% completion rate. And get Morris out, plain and simple. Find the money and the coach and get him out, period. We can only hope that that's what they do. Well, I mean, that's what you guys can hope. I'm not going to say – I don't believe he should come back. I agree with that. The next question is, who the hell wants this job right now? That's the next question, and that's something we'll have to mull over in the coming weeks. I do think they can get somebody. I do think someone – it's going to be hard to turn down the money. It's going to be hard to turn down – you're the it school in this state. It's hard to turn down the fans, the facilities, the renovations, everything that this school has. The problem is, so does half the country. You know, we're not the only SEC school with the great fans and the great facilities and the money. We'll have to see if it's enough. I do think they step away from Chad, and I just think that it was a bad hire. When an interim AD makes the hire, there you go. I mean, you got what you asked for. Bad quarterback development. It's been terrible quarterback development. There's been no quarterback development. Mike Norville. Just pay him, get him in. Mike Norville, I would be absolutely okay with. Mike Leach, please, says Castle Lord. Travis says, sorry, chats. Whoop, 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 whoop. My question is, if we fire Chad Morris, is there anybody out there that's worth getting, in your opinion? And that's what I was talking about. I don't know. So much is going to happen in the next few weeks with other coaches getting fired, and can't imagine anyone wants this job. Can Chad win with more recruits and new OC and DC? Well, again, like I've said before, Mr. Bloodline, you've been through here a number of times. When everything that we've witnessed is a reflection of the head coach. My opinion is no. I don't think that it matters if you make a coordinator change. Now, you look at LSU. LSU makes a coordinator change on offense, and their offense is phenomenal. Combine that with who they have at quarterback, and they're just – look, I think they might beat Bama, especially if Tua's not 100%. I haven't seen but one game, but this is the only – but let's see. He's the only name I've seen consistently. Just go get him. Oh, you're talking about Mike Norville. I like Mike Norville. I really do. I like Mike Norville. I like PJ Fleck. There's a number of names, and we do this every time we go live. We talk about who's gonna replace him. We got to wait and see what Hunter Yurchek does first. Enough money, nearly anyone will take this job. Well, the problem is do you have the money, and is the board of trustees, are they willing to part with that? And what's going on with the Brett Bielema case? We know that's going to be Bielema's lawyered up. That may have to be resolved outside the courts. What's going on there? Are they? There is money here. After all, you do have Forbes, who still gives Arkansas a top 20 evaluation total of in total value, despite how horrific they've been at football and how average they've been at basketball. They still get a high evaluation. Yes, we have facilities. We have the money. A coach that has experience and believes in himself will come and prove he has the coaching talent. And that's the other thing. They brought in Brett Bielema, who I know now it's laughable, but when you look at his resume at the time and they were able to pull him away from Wisconsin, I think it's possible that they could get someone in here. I'll take the job. Can't be any worse. This is Zach. You're funny. LSU has such fertile recruiting to pick from Northwest Arkansas is a difference. So, well, yeah, no kidding. But I'm saying that they still made a change on the offense. Their offense was terrible. It was so bland, and they make a coordinator change, and it's night and day difference. That could happen at most other schools, especially when you're in Louisiana and you have that entire state to yourself as far as recruiting. Like, even Arkansas has a hard time going down there and taking some of their better recruits, and when they do, hell, some of them end up going back. If Yurchek fires Chad Morris, no one Let's see. No one has to get me anything for Christmas. I'll be a happy guy, says Mark Douglas. KJ versus Brian Kelly. Who does better? Well, we'll not going there just yet. The team seemed to come alive when KJ came in. Yeah, the whole stadium did. Did you hear them cheer? They went wild. Buy out Morris with Monopoly money because that's what he deserves. The Celtics for life. Hey, check out what I'm wearing. You'll appreciate that. I'm wearing my Celtics shirt. It's my favorite one. Plus, it's kind of cold out. Recruit from the NFL again. I don't know if you're talking about a coach. I don't know. Anything is possible. That's the other crazy thing about the world of college athletics is nothing is impossible. I mean, you never know what they do as far as hiring a coach. All right, I think that's going to do it. We're gonna wrap it up there. I want to say a special thank you to all of you, to all the new Patreon. Well, I think we gained one new Patreon supporter this week or this month, and to all of you who've been donating through PayPal. Those links are provided for you down below if you guys want to take part in that. But I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. You guys make this worth it. Sorry we had the technical issues early on. The internet, I don't know what's going on with Cox. I blame them. I tagged them in a tweet. I'm waiting on their bot response. I'm waiting for their robot to respond to me here in a second. But I also tried to call them and chew them out. I don't think they wanted to be on the other end of that phone call after that showing we saw against Mississippi State. That would have been brutal. I would have really gone off on him. Let's see. KJ will fall on his face a few times, finding his way through a few games at the end of the season. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to remember how bad this offensive line is, And there's a lot more to the position than just running the RPO. There's a lot of pre-snap things you got to do. You've got to evaluate the defense. You got to know where everyone's lined up, and you've got to make the right checks at the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of things more than what we see or know or understand that's going on before that snap. And that's the question, is KJ ready? If he is, and like I said, anyways, I want to see him. Just no more Starkle and Hicks. I'm done. Great vid, Ty. Thank you, Mike. Cox sucks. Yes, they do. Later, Ty. Love the show as always. Thank you guys so much. Again, this show will not be on the Pictorial Podcast. That's Monday. New shows on Tuesday morning, which are the live streams from the night before. Then we have Thursdays, which is exclusive to podcast only. And then we're back on Friday, and that show goes up on Saturday. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys. Rough weekend. Hope you guys are safe, and I'll see you guys on Monday. We'll be live here Monday. Should be live at 5 p.m. And yeah, looking forward to it. So you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you then. As always, woo pig.